I give you my heart.
Hello, welcome back to another video inside the animal rooms. Today we are here with these guys, with my leopard geckos today. They are getting a new enclosure rebuilt. Well, not rebuilt, but their enclosure is being updated and being upgraded. So in here I have two leopard geckos. I have a male and a female. The female is Pig. This is the female. This is Pig. She is a common morph, but has purple morph. I'm sorry, baby, you're just coming out of shed, aren't you? So yeah, as you can see, she's just coming out of shed, and she needs a new enclosure. So this is one of them, and the other guy, which is the male, who's just about to go into shed, is Zeno. This is Zeno. And like I said, yeah, these guys are getting a new enclosure done today. Go on, mate, you can do some exercise, get it all off of you. So yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, so our first task is to put each of them in a different separate pot. So here is Zeno again, the male. In, I don't climb out. In, and they will remain in here until they are ready to go back in. It is fine because they've got plenty of room, they can turn around. See, just like that. So he'll be fine. Now on to the other one. Come on, Pig. Pig's a lot smaller than Zeno, so she'll fit perfectly fine. There we go. Two leopard geckos. Now that they are both in there, what we next have to do, our next job is to take off the glass. Now that we've taken the glass out, next thing you have to do is remove all the ornaments. So, remove the wood, remove the wet hide. Yeah, so it's got a nice enclosed wet hide for them, because they do shed and it is nice to fill it with moss sometimes. Remove their underground hide, because they are from Afghanistan. They like to dig. They like clay and stone, like bottom floors underneath. Remove all the stones. These will be washed, and once I wash them, I'll be washing them with RocketBourneYT. And all the ornaments are out. Now take the food water bowl out, give that a clean, make sure there's no algae, and wash it out again with RocketBourneYT. Take the slate out. And now that you have taken everything out, you are ready to take out the substrate. All the dry moss and all the dry sand, and hopefully you'll be ready for the next lot. Okay, so now that you have a clean bottomed enclosure, the next step is to get some surface cleaner, which is safe for reptiles. Only have to spray a very little amount just to clean up around the sides, and you get cloth with like this to just simply get rid of any bacteria that is left over. It's left over in the enclosure, which there now no longer is. Next, you add the new substrate. So bear with and I'll go grab it. So here I am using Rector substrate, which is a simple calcium sand, which will mean that if the geckos were to eat some of the substrate while catching a locust or something, that it would digest inside of them because it's calcium. And actually can be fairly beneficial if they have a lack of calcium, which they don't because they get calcium powder sprinkled on top of all their food. So yeah, without further ado, it's added. So now that the substrate is in, I've also put them on their slate where the heat mat is, so they can rest themselves on their heat mat to get their warmth. This side is where the cold hide will be. So what I will be doing with that is I'll be using this, cleaning it off using RocketBourneYT, and be putting kitchen roll in here, just weighting it down, spraying it down, and hopefully we'll have a nice wet hide for them. Now that we've done their wet hide, the last thing to do is just add all the ornaments back which we took out before. So one of their caves, which Xeno likes to sit in, fairly large rock there. These have all been washed down with RocketBourneYT to make sure that there is no bacteria left on these bits of rock. And last but not least, what we do is get your cloth, wipe down the last little bits of slate, and all you do, wash it down, have it in the front, which is where they eat. Last but not least, their water bowl. So I'll go clean this now, and then we'll be adding the glass back. So now that I've cleaned the water bowl, I've added some water, and this is now what I will be using. This is the RocketBourneYT that you add a few drops into the water, which just means that they get some extra calcium, and the water is dechlorinated and safe for the geckos to drink from. The enclosure is now set up. Next thing we have to do is add back the glass after cleaning it down with the multi-surface cleaner, and then we can add them back and see if they'll take a locust from us. So now that everything is complete, the glass is on, the substrate is down, the wet hide is ready, the rocks are everywhere, the water is safe, and their hides are all complete. The next step is the final step, which is adding them back. But before we do, I'm going to show you how to handle. So, the best way to restrain a lizard is by putting your foot, especially if it's a small lizard, you only need to use the fingers. So you put your front finger here in front of their legs, the next couple behind there, and it stops them from moving out. They can move their head and makes it safe, they can move their tail, but she's restrained. However, they do not try and run her anywhere, so I am more than happy and more than safe to just let her sit on my hand. The thing with leopard geckos here is their tail. You should never pull or touch their tail too much, as they will drop it. And however, it will grow back, but they only drop it if they are threatened or frightened. This is Pig, she is my female. She has the name Pig for a reason. She eats a lot, and these two leopard geckos I got from a friend who they no longer wanted them. They were good owners, but they no longer wanted them, and I said I can take them on for you and I can look after them for you. So this is Pig. She's now going back in her home. She'll now sit there and explore while we talk about Xeno, the male. Hello, mate. So this is Xeno. He's a lot bigger than Pig, as Pig could sit on my entire hand. This boy is a lot bigger, eats just as much, bigger tail, and you can tell he's a male because he's got paws here which aren't showing at the moment because he is shedding. So we'll put him back because he doesn't want to be handled as much. You shouldn't really handle animals when they are shedding. Stay in there. But yeah, thank you for joining me on this creature feature of the leopard geckos. I will be sure to put some pictures of the leopard geckos on the Instagram, which is RocketBourneYT. I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you learned something, and I hope you soon find a love for leopard geckos as much as I do. So thank you for joining, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next creature.